Hello, happy Saturday morning. Teacher Shaniqua here. I know some of you, or most of you, probably are teachers. And so, what I'm going to do today is just give you a little bit of a lesson on how to teach preschool. And this is actually one of the lessons that I taught today. So, basically, what I did first, if you can see behind me, I have this circle time chart. So when we first get started, um, you can already see this behind me. So I think that's really exciting for the kids. Today, the first thing that I did was, of course, say hello to the student. And actually, we played a hello song. And the hello song came from Epic School or getepic.com. Remember, if you are a teacher, you can sign up for the free account. So we played the hello song here. And what will happen is every time we meet, I will play the same hello song for the most part so that they can memorize and sing the song. So after the hello song, we went to our calendar, which is right behind me, this the circle time chart. So we talked about the day and I told the student it's February 5th and then they repeated it. And then we did the days of the week over here. You can see the colorful cards. Those are the days of the week. After I chose the card, we actually sang the days of the week song. Um, we sang the version that sounds like the Adams Family, basically. Dun-dun-dun-dun, 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 dun-dun-dun-dun. So after we sing that, we had the weather. The weather was snowy, so it is still on snowy here. We had our letter of the day, and this was the students' very first class with me. So we had letter A for our letter. And we had A for apple, A for ant, and our number today was number 1, and our shape for today was circle. Our color was red. So I'm going to show you a Canva kind of slide that I've been working on. I'm still always adding to it. But here it is. It has my picture on there and the little doll that I have in class with me. I also asked the kids, how are you feeling today? Are you feeling angry, surprised, sad, happy, sick, worried, silly? And we kind of go through all of these. And if it's a really, really young kid, I'll make sure that they repeat all these different feelings and act them out with me. And then after we act these feelings out, then I'll ask, how are you feeling? And then usually they'll pick one of them. And most of the time, they do say happy. Sometimes maybe angry or sad. So we already talked about the days of the week. This slide was up when we were singing the days of the week song, and I used my pointer tool to point at the different days. When we did go over the date, the slide was up, showing that it's February, and all the hearts since Valentine's Day is in February, of course. These are all of our months. We didn't really go through all of them. We just talked about how we finished January and now it's February. This is another slide to go with the weather. I did not use this one today because I used the spinning wheel up here. So I did not use this one in the slide. So just to kind of grasp like how much the child knows, we always go to the alphabet. So this is the first real thing that they have to do. So the student was able to sing the alphabet by herself. And then we started with this card again. I brought it up. And then at this moment, there is nothing on the screen, just my video. And so I'm teaching it. Big A, up, down, and across. Sometimes I say up the mountain, down the mountain, and across the mountain. And then for A, I'll say little a, and then they repeat that, and then we do around and down. So after I show this, I come back here to the slide and show big A and little a. Sometimes I'll even ask, what letter is this? And then she was able to identify, oh, big A, little a, like I just saw that, duh. All right, so then we talk about the things that start with A. And I don't say anything on the slide. I just ask them, what do you see? So she pretty much got all of them, and most of the students get all of them for the most part, except for Aquaman. If they don't know who Aquaman is, then I'll say, that's Aquaman, right? So we have an astronaut, apple, avocado, alligator, axe, ant, and Aquaman. Since our number was number one, we have number one in a red circle, and I purposely put number one in the red circle because our number today was one and our shape was a circle and our color was red. So this is like three things in one for her to be able to um, practice identifying. When we got to number one, I actually switched gears and we went to the storybook. Once again, this is all on Epic School. The book is called The Number One, and as you can see, basically one apple, the little girl one bite, biting the apple. And so I also ask, what do you see in the picture? And then I'll ask her or him to count how many. And then we say one. So we're basically repeating one for each of these things, right? Because the student is just learning one. And when we are learning one, we make sure we make a number one with our fingers every time we say the number one in the book. All right, so after reading the number one, we go back here and then we count. And I say, how many astronauts? One astronaut is the kind of response that I'd hope for. How many acorns? How many axes? How many apples? How many avocados? And I'll stop right there because B is coming next. Today we did not work on that. So this was our last slide. And then I go back here. What do you see? One apple. I try to get them to repeat the sentences after me. I see one red apple. All right, so this is the point where once again we switched gears a bit and we read the book One Red Apple. This book was a little bit longer than one and it has a lot of pictures. So half of the book the student was talking about what she saw on this page. This is and actually counting the cows and the sheeps and all and the chickens and the everything. So we read this book and then we went back to our slide. What else is A for? A is for and then we had a picture of an ant. So for letter A, we went to our song, The Ants Go Marching, and the student really did a great job singing the song. So good. Just for your information, this is the one that I used on YouTube. However, that one goes from 1 to 10. If you want just 1 through 5, you can search on YouTube easily and find the song with just 1 to 5 on it. So we sing that song, we read that book. For our drawing, I had the student grab some paper and only a red crayon. That's the thing, only a red crayon. First, I asked the student to draw some red circles. So the student practiced drawing red circles. And then I asked the student to put a number one in each circle, just like that. And then after that, we drew big A and little a. First, the student needed a little bit help and then was able to actually do it independently. After drawing the circles and writing A and one with the red crayon, Then we drew a circle monster, and I'm going to show you really quickly what the circle monster actually looks like. So first I tell the student, make a big circle for the head. So we're going to go make a big circle like that. And then 2 circle eyes like that. And a big circle nose. And a circle mouth. And 2 circle ears. And 1 circle body. And 2 circle arms. And 2 circle feet, legs, whatever you want to call that. Okay, so we usually do this after we learn how to make the circle. I usually have them basically take a sheet of paper and just do circles all over until they get them. And then we do the circle monster. So after we did this, we basically review everything that we learned today. We had our letters A, big A, little a. We had number 1. We had the color red. There was another worksheet that I actually used, and I'm going to see if I can pull it up really fast. So the worksheets that I used in between all of those things came from education.com. I purchased a subscription a couple of years ago where it was like unlimited lifetime. So I am still using this from many years ago. What we worked on today, let's see if it is in my history. Yep, there it is. So we had some writing, and the cool thing about this is I can actually assign the students homework, and all they have to do is log in and log right into their homework. So I'm going to add this for homework, big A and little a, and then draw 2 things that start with A. I'm going to add maybe this one, A is 4. It's just like a coloring worksheet since it has most of the things that we talked about today on it. And I just download that, and then the student, when they actually access it, they'll have colors where they can actually color right on the iPad with their fingers, and they can do all their assignments just on an iPad or computer. Okay, so I'm going to go back and show you what else I used. When we talked about the color red, I asked the student to go find me something that was red, and then we colored this fire truck and heart and apple red. I did the coloring. I did not allow the student to have the mouse today since it's just the first class. So I did the coloring, and then the student did the coloring on their paper. Okay, let's see. I think that might be the last thing. Let me check. Oh, when we did number 1, we reviewed number 1. And when we review number 1, I actually use a song from Epic, the number song. It's just go straight down and then you're done. Go straight down and then you're done. Go straight down and then you're done. I am number 1. So we go through just number 1 today. I'll teach more of that song later. Let me see. Am I leaving anything out? I know that sounds like a bunch. It sounds like a lot, but it was actually an hour-long class. And so the way we ended the class was with the astronaut song. When we were reviewing, I said A is for astronaut. That was the last thing that we reviewed. And then we did our little dancing. After that, I gave her login information to the parent, and then we said bye. It is a lot, but the cool thing is it's not really too much of anything new. It's just a lot of repeating the same things over and over, like color red, number 1, circle A. And what she'll do is, and all the students that join will have those things for the whole week that they'll practice. And then next week, we will review all of those, and then we'll start with B and the other shapes and numbers and all of that. So I hope this gives you an idea of what you can do if you want to teach preschool. It is not difficult at all. A lot of the things that you're going to be teaching are going to be repetitive. So um, even like if you do the calendar, they're not really going to understand like the months yet, right? You can still have them repeat the date after you and sing the days of the week. You can teach a letter of the day, a shape, a number, and a color. And then in between, you want to make sure that you have a story time, a story that has something to do with the numbers or shapes or colors, just like I had number one and then I had a book about apples. So try to have your story times and your video or song or dance. Try to have them relate to the lesson in that way so that it can kind of tie everything together. Let me know if you'd like to see another lesson. It can be my preschool lessons, my kindergarten lessons, my middle school lessons. If you have one that you'd like me to share with you of how I, not necessarily how I teach it, but the material and what I use, let me know and I will see you next time. Bye.